found Vinci and her companions just as the Amer captured them close to the entrance of the stone forest. Wayfarers are never welcome within their lands unless there is a purpose behind it. To prevent the gods from entering into their minds, I interceded and reminded them that only their chieftain, King Gion, can pass judgment upon them. I walked alongside the 3 large scouts, who each carried the 3 members of the company towards Threspost Mountain. The Amer gods walking is more of an interpretive dance, in the belief of warding off evil spirits according to their customs. But to Vinci... The companions were not at all enjoying the cultural experiences as their bodies were motioned up and down and side to side against the giant bodies of the scouts.
Keep still, would you? You're breaking me rhythm. Can't look like stumbling fawn when approaching the king.
You had 2 right feet to begin with anyway.
What the hell did every rock? Okay, fine. Don't mind me.
We made our way through the canyons of brilliant warm colors, where they streamed aligned with cottonwood, junipers, and thick grass patches growing along the bank. Several heads of both regular and mass-sized livestock drank and grazed, unmoved by the scouts passing by. The gods crossed a rocky cliff trail where the humans looked down to see pools of fallen leaves at the bottom. The additional 6 feet made the height of their drop more frightening to each of them, making them pray that none of their captors would accidentally drop them. The artist, to her credit, tried to distract the novices from their discomfort.
Look at those colors.
Indeed they are, lassie. These trees, along with their natural stones, are the pride of the Amer people.
Oh, of course we are trolls! We're the smart kind!
Not like those of the Radney people.
We love sunlight.
And we walk the hunts thanks to the essence provided by the...
Oh, shut it. The last we need is to expose more than needed. The last we need is to reform their minds. Remember what happened to the last bloke?
Yeah. The sap jabbered so much rubbish, the king himself threw him out of these lands.
Ah, here we are.
We entered into a mouth of a large cave at the base of the mountain. As we merged deeper and deeper, light illuminated in the holes by the fade light, aiding with the natural beams of the light that leaked through the holes in the mountain walls. Some of the light made the gems shine and glitter brightly. Some of the gems grew on the ground as well. And the warden could have sworn she saw one of them emerging from the ground like rippling water that grew like a flower before her eyes. After several moments of walking through the tunnels, they entered a large cavern that looked more like a grand throne room. Sitting on a stone throne surrounded by gems, with a deep red tapestry with golden threads draping over it, was King Gion. The short at 5'8" by Amer standards, the same height as Vinci. But the fair chieftain of the Amer and overseer of the stone forest.
Barnabas, what is the meaning of allowing those nefarious intruders into my home?
Your Majesty, I wasn't expecting the Thalamus stewards to enter your territory.
You know the punishment for summoning without.
Hey, lad, what are you doing? And there goes my life, right before my eyes, lassie. Thanks a lot. Maker preserve me.
You come to retrieve Dr. Newcaastle. A likely story, young one. We can smell Menno's stench all over you, lass. You have come for the glittering stones to grind into powder, to accommodate his powers. Many have worked for him to steal in exchange for their own lives. All but one never came out the same.
We never worked for any mountain trolls, though we recently encountered one and he was stoned in an attempt to take us and our host families.
How do we know she is not lying, O grand-statured one?
Here. Coated inside are the dust fragments of the powder used to reverse the stoning enchantment upon his victims.
The steward speaks true, your benevolence.
As much as I am relieved to hear of the demise of my sixth worst enemy, give me a reason why you are here, stewards, and Tekla Gremlin. I see. So you wish to take Barnabas back to heal one of your own from such enchantments? My dear lad, I cannot let him go with you.
What?
We require his assistance tonight.
What could be possibly more important than a country's council's demands?
Everything. Did you expect me to just hand him to you all because you're human? Meanwhile, an intervention of a force needing to be checked is long overdue, and we cannot afford to lose this chance for a council's gain. How much more are my people to give up for your kingdom and Corinth's? Since I am a fair king, and seeing that you are desperate enough to ask me to allow Barnabas to return to Thalamus with you, I will allow this to happen if you accommodate my needs.
And what is it you need?
Tonight is the great feast of stone, the day that you should thank the carver, your maker, that you are still intact.
It's an Amer holiday of peace. No creature nor human may harm another from midnight to midnight.
Midnight? That's a half a day.
Each year, each night, at midnight, the forests, villages, and valleys are set on fire by a dragon spirit. No warrior alive has ever stopped him, for we sleep under his spell. Barnabas possesses powers above wisdom and horrors, that even I am frightened to ask for further elaboration. Each time I demand a summon, he vanishes for the night. We begged for years to the Carver to have Barnabas accept our plea and help us destroy the spirit. And now, it seems that he has finally come, and the Carver has answered our prayers.
I have my reasons to be away on this day of the year, sire, let alone encountering this spirit. The reason is to protect your people from further bloodshed.
And the blood of those before and many possible peoples to come is not worth vengeance. Many survivors are left mad or dead by the grief and madness the dragon implanted on this land. Not quick or strong enough to eradicate.
All lives matter. It's all a matter of who, what, where, and how to kill the dragon.
Enough! At sunset, Barnabas and the intruders will go into the forest and bring down the spirit once and for all. Once that's done, you shall have my blessing for you all to go.
We'll do it.
Vinci.
Excellent. In the meantime, we need to see if you three are worthy to be called friends of the court. You should perform tasks for the Day of Stone. Which one of you is good at catching fish?
Don't look at me. I'm a sinker. You can fish, lad? Oh, yeah, right. You must have fished a lot when you were a boy. Well, that's a relief. We better find a pole out of the bag.
Poles are useless for this task, given the nature of this salmon, for it has resided in the streams of our spring for a long time. It is as quick as a fox, and twice as clever. You'll have to catch it with your bare hands.
And what makes this fish so special? I'm even questioning the fact that the fish can survive in a stream for so long. I'm not a fish expert by all means, but salmon should not be residing in a desert waterscape for this long.
The salmon, according to legend, emerged from the mountain spring ages ago. It is said to have wisdom and knowledge beyond one's understanding.
A glorified pond cleaner. Ow! Hey!
Take this seriously, otherwise we're all dead here.
My forefathers wished to preserve this power to protect the people of the sanctioned lands. We wish to speak and know how to broker peace with all and avoid conflicts with the surrounding nations. Once it's caught, cook it over an open flame, and you will bring it to me at the feast tonight. All I ask is that you don't eat the fish, not even to check to see if it's fully cooked. Now, can you fulfill this task and keep to that command? Barnabas, escort these three to the spring.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Since when do you take orders from a king?
Since when did you start using a staff?
Touché.
Other than a sprained ankle, you look well, Vinci. Nice to see the color return to your face. And do I get a proper introduction of these two?
These are... Come to think of it, I never caught their names. And we've been traveling together for what? 3, 4, maybe 5 days? I lost count.
Oh, Vinci!
What? You know how bad I am with remembering names. May as well get to know them now. Better late than never.
pleasure to meet the both of you. I'm surprised that you lasted this long with this scraggly thing.
Scraggly?
You have a 9 divided by 3 lives of a fox. Going into a mountain troll's den and having to lure him out to give the killing ray? I knew about the mountain troll since last night, when I traveled with the scouting party. Hearing whispers and rumors from the crows about a new mountain to make their nests.
Wait a minute. You were close, and yet you neglected to catch our attention. And yes, we almost got captured by the troll. One I didn't realize was a fugitive of Keen Shortstacks. Why didn't you come toward our area soon? We could have used a little help.
I'm still an emissary of the stewards. I had to keep my position from being compromised. Besides, who's going to document the tales of the Lord Bardock, of how Victoria Rams manages to use a gun to fire without killing, stunning an enemy of a king, and using her mind in place of her brush?
Fair point.
Please, lad, just call me Barnabas. As for me, being a permanent resident of the Stone Forest, no, I'm not as such. For a few seasons, I am a resident, then I go to Atar to aid with the stewards. Ah, here's the stream.
Stream? You call this a stream, Barnes? This is more of a river.
It only gets this wide and deep at the time of the day. Lad, look for it and don't lose sight of it.
Whoa, a little warning next time. You'll cause the lassie to gouge her eyes out.
May you preserve me.
Sorry. I just don't want the lass to get distracted while she builds a fire for the fish. Once the lad here captures it, of course. Oh, come on! Don't tell me you didn't...
There it goes! After it, boy!
Ah, there you are. We were beginning to worry. Lad, you were in the water for an extended length of time. Only 30 minutes, give or take. Time has no limits when a magical fish of essence is a resident. The lass and I almost dove in to retrieve you in the first 15 minutes if Barnabas hadn't interfered.
Can we please have an exposition as we cook the fish? Time is a precious resource right now.
Okay. Rushy. As I was saying, according to Dr. Pressing Matters here, time has no measure when the spring provides it such. The essence in the fish, that is. It's magic. What explanation is needed for it? Even nonsense doesn't need to be explained as such. It's defiant of common sense for those who don't wish to change.
Now, watch the fish, lass. it mustn't burn. So, Vinci, tell me why the council needs me this early. Was it something regarding your brush?
Well, yes and no. My parole hearing was interrupted by Lord Darien crashing in, informing us about Lamar Lupin's return.
This sounds like a very complex form of essence and magic. If the healers couldn't heal and retrieve the ability to speak, we have several refugees in the Stone Forest who have possibly experienced such enchantment. Few individuals are animal-humanoid hybrids as a result of either a spell that had gone wrong or was used for the wielder's intentions for Maker knows what. There are people of far-off worlds and dimensions who were half-blooded due to the sires and dams that were never cured of it. Or so those people claim, once they merged from the tunnel. There's even a good friend of mine who's half-blooded. She's a teacher in Atad. One of the best in her field. And yet she faces countless forms of racism, both in her home dimension and ours. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, no. Trying to reverse the enchantments would take time. It was set by the divine of the dimension, and by the laws of the stewards. We can't interfere with those dimensions' canon. If we get past these tasks and kill this dragon without... Oh, we're burning!
Barnabas, I'm sure that the dragon burns these lands, not itself. What? Oh, fudge nuggets! The fish! Okay, quick, get the spigot out. Get it off.
We all worked with haste, trying to save the fish from being compromised. The lad managed to capture it as it was falling apart. It went into his hands, resulting in them burning. When after the fish was safely transferred into the metal bowl, the lad, by instinct, kissed and sucked his fingers in an attempt to cool them down. Tasting the burnt fish oil, he felt a tingling feeling through his veins, one that frightened him to the core as the mist rose from his hands.
Young man, my wisdom is now in you. You are chosen, sealed with a precious kiss, tasting the tears of the essence that bled from my previous host. One who was to carry me across Naya for completion. Until you cross, like those who came before, you shall carry me and pass me all around, even to those that may disregard me.
What did you do? How did you receive it without eating it? So, you sucked and kissed your fingers and hands which were coated in the blood and oil of a magical fish, and suddenly ancient wisdom just waltzed in without you knowing? Have you lost your mind?
Now, Barnabas, calm down. How could we have known? Maybe a tiny bit of wisdom is left over in the fish right there.
Vinci, if there's one thing I learned, never underestimate a creature with a low center of gravity. I bet you 4 pelts that I beg to differ if we make it out of this alive. I will admit, I usually don't blow up as I did, but what else am I supposed to do? The lad was in compromising position, risking the Amer's king's wrath. Meanwhile, Vinci thought she could just brush it off with disregard. Even as we made our way back to the throne room, other matters were still on my mind. The worst part of all of this was that now we had no choice but to present the salmon to the king in front of his court. I knew at this point that our bacon was in the fire, and I prayed for once in many years that I would be wrong. Music played inside and outside its halls, beyond the canyons, and into the forests throughout the night. The Amer people were dressed in their fine robes of elk and pronghorn leather, established with the ivory teeth of elk, each one to represent the wealth through a hunter's kill. Large open fires roasted various meats of elk, boar, bison, deer, and pronghorn, enriching the air with its meaty, fragrant smells. But our thoughts of hunger were quickly diminished as our hearts and minds raced with apprehension.
The lass is worried sick about the squire there. 3 days ago, both of them barely spoke a word or gave a tinker's curse about one another. If Andras expected a catfight within these two during my time, he's once again greatly mistaken.
The king sat on his throne wearing his robes, finer than any member of his court, and was playing chess with the only human member of the court, General Lancer. He was a large man with a thick grey beard matching his shoulder-length hair, and an eye patch covering his right socket. All eyes turned to us as Vinci carried the fish in the same metal bowl from Lord Roger's bag.
My people, members of my court, this day of peace now bears sweeter fruits for us all. For the legendary salmon of knowledge and wisdom is at last in our possession.
It's true, lass. Once the spirit enters into someone, it resides for the rest of the host's life until they cross.
Tonight,
Once that happens, it goes to the descendant of the host to the spirit's choosing. If no descendants are available, then like the fish, it'll go to the next organic being.
It's been decades.
So either die, sow seeds, or be eaten.
And today,
Fine choices for a spirit of wisdom.
who is with me? Tonight, let us feast on a new cycle. I shall taste the first fruits. Bring forth the salmon.
Are you sure about this?
No. But one can hope.
Ah. Hmm. 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 No knowledge, no wisdom, nothing. Just a piece of burnt cold salmon.
Your Highness, I'm sure there's a better explanation on, there is a better explanation on...
Which one of you broke your honor? Who now hosts the spirit after eating the fish when promised not to? What?
Lad, what are you doing?
So you claim responsibility. Guards, seize these traitors!
No!
Take the tackler, thief, and beat the wisdom out of him.
My lord, I beseech you.
Your lot are all the same. You take and you take, and yet you are never satisfied. You forced my ancestors and their people, my people's forefathers, into these lands. And now you take the very wisdom that is rightfully ours. I will return what is ours, as penance for your gatekeeper's idea of control myself.
No! Your Majesty, please!
I will not allow my people, nor me, nor those to come, to be made fools any further. Not by another Teklar oathbreaker in front of my court. Of my people.
Lad, taste your fingers. Just do it.
What is that?
I am the spirit that was blessed by the sister to be marked on its reaching branches on behalf of the Maker and sent by the Fulfiller.
Indeed. Beautiful. Unless placed in the wrong hands, then it becomes powerful and dangerous.
Oh, wondrous face sense of wisdom. Have you emerged to see justice for the sin that was inflicted upon me?
The lad has done no wrong, nor his companions. Do not take his life as punishment to pay off the past sins of those before him, King Gion.
But, Your Honor,
If you wish to fulfill what your forefathers could not, continue to help those who seek refuge. Aid the people of the Lannis and Karan when not laying a talon on either of them. Even the figure who hosts one so dark and lonely.
Sire?
My blessing be upon you, boy. For you carry a weapon that many choose to neglect due to its heavy burden.
Sire, they broke the law. He deserves death.
If I recall correctly, it's not yet midnight.
By the carver!
Almost broke the holy laws of your holiday. Though if I recall correctly, you have 2 more tasks for us.
What do you propose that the young steward can accomplish?
Well, I am currently losing the game of kings to His Excellence. Why is that, girl?
So, you want to attempt to beat me in this round of chess, with the current pieces that General Lancer has left on the board? No man or creature alive has ever beaten me in such a game. Very well. Take a seat, my lady.
She did it!
What? What is it? Did she do a checkmate?
She's fun.
And now I know. You are indeed capable of killing dragon spirits. As one can defeat a king with so few armies on a board. It takes careful moves and wisdom forged from experience to provide aid to those who are cornered.
The sun is setting. We shall return as soon as the task is completed.
Look, I don't like to kill things that were made. It's a difficult action to... Fine, all right. I'll help kill the dragon spirit. But make sure you keep the head so Barnabas can see what its essence offers to the council. That way, I won't risk being snapped. Yes, I realize that, lass. But I do care about what the council sees in me, beyond the artists that forged monsters and chaos in their eyes. And the proof is in the skull of whatever is carried in. But I don't want them to know that I nearly had Prince Owen's squire beheaded and a novice steward nearly turned into a permanent lawn garden ornament. They'll jump to the assumption that I would hurt the council through what happens to these two. I can...
The lad has a point. We should thank the Maker that we barely escaped a king's wrath by kissing burnt fingers and finishing a round of chess. The council will see that you successfully completed a mission without your brush, using the resources that lie within your mind.
I appreciate the kind words, lass, but the council always thinks the worst of me, or anyone who seems to seek help or is different compared to what their standards are. It's clear, obvious. It's because of what I am and what I do. Why haven't they...
Listen. There, in the grey mist, those yellow eyes. Maker above. I can smell.
No! Don't! We can't fall asleep. Though I dreamed that I would see him. No, but no, we can't. Oh, we can't. What? Wouldn't it be? Oh, we need. Oh, make her a buff! Barnabas!
Can't argue with the results involving a stab and a whack on the ankle.
Oh, but it was starting to become numb after all that endured.
Here. The lad and lass are hidden in the grove.
How are they?
Awake. Barely.
Well, lass, I have one plan. It's very risky, but... Barnabas?
No, Victoria! You can't be serious!
But I am. We need a diversion. So far, the dragon hasn't spotted me, so if...
My answer still stands. Why else would I leave the stone forest at this time of year? He needs to be as far away from others, like that dragon.
You won't be alone, though. I'll be by your side, and if things go south... I'm never leaving your side, my brother.
You're never going to cease, aren't you? Fine. What's the plan then?
Has the dragon come out to play?
Rejoice! I'll warm the mist and fury, for I have a feast of stone gift for thee. say, you look a little worse for the wear. Fortunately, my little gift is here to aid you.
You insult me with a human girl as a tribute.
I'm only 24, you filthy worm.
Oh, but she's an Artisan Steward of Thalamus. One of such beauty and talent, if given the tools to bring her creations to life.
I have faced many trials and tribulations due to crimes and accusations that I've not committed. And now, I am forced to wander through the wilderness.
I have heard that many of our brethren are persecuted just for displaying what the Maker designed all to be.
You've come to mock the one who created this land as well as my solitude.
Mock? On the contrary, wasn't it taught by those of the Maker long ago that trials and tribulations shape and form us based on experience, damage, and scars given to us? I could have sworn.
They were taught such things to trust in the Maker with steadfastness, in pursuit of perfection and contentment. Yet you, creatures of the night, are a friend of the world. The world outside of Nyarb.
I used to be of another world, yes. But my people chose one path, and my sister and I had chosen something in contrast. But we interact with this world since it was granted access to us. The meek shall inherit over the ages. I've seen men falter to their demise in order to protect the riches that meant nothing to the people.
Silence! I do not have time for this. Why do you insult me with this woman as an offering on this night of serenity?
Oh, thank your...
Quiet, wretch! Do not speak to a being of immune power with such filth of a mouth that your sire gave you. I must apologize. Oh, Ancient of Days, for this human's generation and many others before and after were brought up into a compromising way. They've become spineless compared to their ancestors cycles ago.
That steel doesn't answer the question. Why keep this human awake? If only to pass her on to me as a burden.
I only heard through the veins of the upside-down branches roots that you require a shield maiden, if not a damsel to keep you company. One who was the steward's, one that understands things beyond the average man's understanding of the world beyond. And with the tunnel, this is also the one who brings laid a true within only the light of the sun
to a line of contempt for my people. Why should I just accept her and take her like an arranged bride?
Yes, but such a prize is worth keeping, is she not? She may aid you in guiding her to the larger cities for a better hunting ground. Come to think of it, I am surprised that you roam in this small cesspit of a forest over cities like the capital.
This forest has no wards. No restraints on the roads and highways to the cities and towns where they wish to claim their turf.
They, my lord?
Their powers have grown exponentially since their exile.
You mean to tell me that... This is a tale worth injuring my rib! You allowed some wilder wretch to cast you from your own domain!
They touched my mind and body, seeing where the entrances to worlds beyond the barriers and walls that the tacklers and stewards tried to keep those from entering.
The more reason why you need this girl. Sure, her tongue needs to be riddled, but she is disregarded by her own.
By her own.
Like a poor wretch sickened and alone. She was discarded and forgotten by those who promised to help her, only to be punished to a corner over a man finer than her. Oh, it must be hard seeing so many humans begging and pleading for relief and resources. And you were forced to say, "Go be filled and warm."
I had other matters to oversee first on the essence needed.
Yes, I know. Essence is the only priority to the widow saps and the little rugrats who with no one to take them in after forces beyond their control took their parents. If I recall correctly, weren't you supposed to be a watchdog for the vaults? I expected so much from your kind. But to cast out by the stewards and the ticklers, and all because guarded knowledge was snatched and taken right under your very sulfur-coated snout, must be pretty embarrassing for you. Oh, ancient of the days, to take the position of being judged over the poor wretches who are inherited with the goats, or are drowning in their selfish desires with no wealth to exchange.
Confidence born of ignorance. Even a drake's heart can see that favoritism is the bane of those who have a singular preference. As you said, people prefer the famed and rich in order to gain more and more and more. Are they the ones who oppress the poor and take away? Only to see the wretched grovel at their feet as a means to seek favors. If they thought of others with a sickness of clouded minds, the Maker will not show mercy in kind. You humans make my kind look more like lambs.
If your kind is so powerful and righteous, show me your works apart from your...
Silence!
Stay your hand. I want to answer this human's question. One cannot survive without the other. Nor can one say one thing and do a contrast of a command. No more than when you held an ale in one hand and the tea from the other. If one says don't kill and don't commit adultery, yet if they did one and not the other, that is as spoiled as a pig's carcass.
But he can merge one from another.
What?
Didn't the one known as Cassandra the Scarlet save the spies when she and her house saved those who during the War of the Second Age? She was justified by her works because of her newly merged faith in the Maker. The Fulfiller himself mentioned that the founding father of all the nations of Nearb and the people tribes were saved after he offered his son for a sacrifice, only to be stopped in the process by one of those the Maker sent, claiming to be the latter's friend. So, if I ask to be separate from one from the other, how is one to know what is the truth of the faith of the Maker? Why are you laughing now?
I am laughing because faith without follow-through actions, promises you cannot keep, are no more than a lie. It is a slap in the face towards your Maker. The real faith moves and destroys barriers that seem impossible. You only think of yourself and your struggles, my dear. But a person who expresses such and does the nothing is considered like those, as mentioned, who wish you well and do nothing, even when sick and hungry. Laziness of such is what kills you in the end. Nice and slow.
I'm tired of this game of fire and swords coming from each of your mouths. Even your kind, next to the humans, destroys cultures, lands, kingdoms, and creatures of all sorts with the words your tongue wields. So simple and small, yes. But like a ship's rudder, the smallest parts are the most dangerous to control. Like my breath, the tongue can burn, kill and destroy. All creatures, including my kind, tamed. But the tongue's words never have and never will be tamed. Thanks to the tools of the mind and heart from your mouths.
You speak with such bitterness, O Lord of Mist and Fury. Tell me, since we were on a rabbit trail for a long while, you were about to express to us what brought you into the wilderness so long ago.
I was tired and frustrated, watching the stewards and tacklers try to love the Maker and the people. Yet, the want for control is a desire known to.
I'm sorry. I must have had a wax within my ear. But wasn't there supposed to be a following of a great command? To love as yourself, and to seek and to save those in turmoil?
Tell me, human, what causes contentions among you and your stewards?
I see the division amongst one another based upon battling ideals of what to do and what to say and act accordingly without compromise. Divided afflictions, in all honesty. Some love wealth, others purpose, power, direction, and try to have it on the level playing field that they desired.
And that is why my kind calls you adulterous species. Why is that?
Because we are to set in what is thought and not to be merged with those who are against our fundamental ideals. The proud are seen as scoffed, yet the humble are admired and praised in all the songs and tales for generations to come.
Yet your passions without such ideals only brought you a friend of the void's father below. Resist and the influences will flee, and temptations will not be tested to you by the Maker.
Now wait just a clock tick. That... Oh, that's rich.
Even I'm at a loss for words. Explain yourself, wretch!
Even a child knows that the Maker isn't the real starter, nor the one responsible. And yet, he's always to be blamed for every misfortune or circumstance that an individual is placed in outside of their control, just as you blame the Maker for whatever was sent to sabotage you and used you for desires.
Silence! The sister thief used a powerful spell to distract me with a scent that consumed my lonely heart. And when she cornered me, she took some of my essences after she removed the facade. And when she was finished, her kinsman sibling took the essence that was guarded fiercely for all the cycles and dwindled without a trace.
Classic pretty female diversion. At least it wasn't gold or jewels that lured you out.
Do you think your gestures will display intelligence towards your elders, young pup?
Well, come to...
Silence, you quilling imp! You can see why I need to remove this human from my hands. You were saying, my lord?
The congregation of the stewards saw that my kind no longer may be of use due to the accusations based on The thief portrayed me as the thief of princesses and maidens of all walks. After I was cast out, I had difficulty hunting and finding a land where I could feast without being kept out of the cities by the nation's wars. It wasn't until I found this territory, one with no seals, and home to human dogs with no countries, that I claimed my own. And on this night of peace, I feast on the pure, joyous hearts that tasted sweet to me, to make up for the bitterness I drank from those who inflicted my hardship on me. I have come to accept and learn that being settled is a lie. For one cannot simply plan to go to a new place and thrive. To think of such is considered arrogant. And now, I kill those who challenge my presence. For I vow to never be uprooted from lands I have as much right as all who were breathed by the Maker. So as a way to unleash my bitterness, I burn the lands around and offer those who challenge me.
I challenge you.
What did you say?
I challenge you for the confirmation of the ownership over me.
And why should you?
You had no backbone to show and tell the stewards and the Templars that hearers and doers are completely different matters. Do you now decide that you are like those of the rich who dragged you into their own courts for crimes that you yourself claim to be judged because that they only saw what they wished to see?
You now have my full attention.
The stewards, mostly humans in general, are quick to speak, but now slow in following through with their actions. How many times have you yourself heard those of the Maker say to those less fortunate, "Go in peace, be full and content," or "Hold on to the Maker, he'll be with ya," with no follow-through on such matters? Never knew that oaths without confirmation are dead. Let yeses be yeses, and noes be noes.
Oh, this is interesting, my dear. Those who neglect those people are no more than when a man looks at himself as he passed by a mirror, only to forget about the image that was as plain as night and day. Ultimately, they will only destroy themselves. Cursing the Maker for the muck and mire they are in.
But you are wrong.
What?
The Maker cannot be tempted, nor tempt, for in the end, we are all responsible for the actions we play and the roles we never followed through doing.
And what would you do with creatures like us, Miss Rams?
Yes, I am curious myself. What would you do to me, tainted Artisan Steward?
Well, I know that I cannot be associated with those outside of Niard.
So you would allow those who are suffering to drown, while you stay on the shores of your security. To neglect the demands of your definitive Maker, and serve only the thoroughbred of the high and powerful, while the poor wayfaring ones like me suffer and die after being told. Go there and be neglected.
I would wish to serve those who have been casted out, who were lost, and are still to this day wayfaring. Even those of my own kind that are drowning in their own self-inflicted muck and mire. For redemption will sing more songs of praises for my favor, if that is followed through, when given the chance.
So, you have come not to kill me. You hope to serve me to redeem. What are the terms, O ostracized one? How do you wish to win a chance at life?
He suggested a little game of cat and mouse. Give her a reasonable head start and track her based on the traits of humans that always lead you to find them inevitably.
Wait! What? That was not what I was referring to.
30 heartbeats times 4, human. If I were you, I would run.
You heard his magnificence.
I say before we summon Barnabas's guests, we need to have some last-minute advice. Lad?
You must seek and lead the dragon to a doorway. Only then can you kill him with a human weapon of ironwood.
Yes. Yeah, I see what you mean, Lassie. That scouting post should work. But we have no weapons. Wait, you want to make a spear? With my staff? Wait. I see what you mean. It is made out of ironwood. The only wood that is more lethal to a spirit or an immortal than any ash wood I know. Laddie, how good are you at carving? And also, how do you feel if I ask for that spirit of yours for last-minute advice?
Like the rich would use the poor, be not like them. For they think to get away with the evil within them. Nothing is what's true is always.
No magic. Just a warrior's skill. Don't go near me just yet. Remember our treaty.
Just wanted to heighten the thrill of the chase, my dear. It's been so long since I had fun with you. You're more exciting than your ancestors.
If you turn on us during this chase, I'll turn the ironwood on you after the dragon.
Even unto Barnabas? You must be truly desperate to expose those hypocrites, no matter the cost.
Shut up and run! Don't trust on me just yet, you worm. Hold on to it, Lassie! Hold on! I gleaned his memories, lad. His essence and memories are now in this orb for the council to analyze and record. And now, Sergius, return Dr. Newcaastle to us.
Oh, but we were having so much fun, my dear. Fine. Until we meet again, my pet. Is he?
Yes, my dear friend. It is done. Look.
By the Maker's mane. It worked. On the contrary, lass, don't tell me that you had a shade of doubt about me.
We all made it. Doubts and all. Before we take this head to the king, let's see what the dragon said is true. You two, touch this orb with Barnabas and me. For the projection of the mind, of course. Now come on!
And after all my dear sister has done for you?
Who are you that you would stand against my kind?
One who dares to seek and to ask all who are cast out and ridiculed without a chance to prove their accusers wrong.
Always trying to sound wise and romantic. No wonder you're still single, Andras.
How am I supposed to thrive if you barricade me from my prey?
Humans are too tainted for your needs. I heard the stone forests are filled with organic and rich flows and stocks of the essence. Even the people of the territory be rarely missed.
What are your gains from all this?
Peace for you, and open possibilities for a new world. Use the boiling and burning chaos to turn dormant affairs into a revolution.
What? 'Tis I, the King, who must die. 'Tis I 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 who must
I don't know. Never seen them before. Yet, this poor lizard of a worm is a creature that wasn't lying about being tricked, resulting in his exile. In the meantime, let's take this head and display it to the king. Hey, lad. Yeah, come here. This was your kill. Carry it with pride.
What none have achieved, one must seek beyond the shores and towers, and go to the deep to save those from the dormant chaos. Silence can kill more than words and stone.